Hey. Good morning, Goddess.
How are you today?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yay.
Do you know how many people I know are saying, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that year is over." Did you get it? Was it the worst? Was it? It's like, yeah.
Thank God that's over. And I also noticed from a lot of people that I've talked to, it's been a little bit of a slow kick-in for the new year. Like that first 2 weeks was a little molasses-like.
Oh my God, really? Oh, and I do have that and the opposite. Oh my God. Boom, 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 phone call. Boom, boom, things happening. It's only been like 2 or 3 weeks and they're like, my life has changed. I feel the shift. And we say,
oh yeah.
Shift
happens. Shift happens. And you know what? Shit turns to shift when you look for the gift.
Aww. I'm not putting that on a t-shirt. I don't care how cute that is.
I'm putting it on a bumper sticker.
It's definitely true. And all that manure you've been wading through just helps things to grow. That's what it's for.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
When you think about it. We don't make this stuff up.
Well, you know, whenever we want to create change, we want to call in something new, what happens? We get mirrored for us, you know, a good bit of the continuum of the whole of whatever it is, so that we get the opportunity to focus on what we prefer, and then hone in on that. Some of us think, oh, what horrible thing have I done? Am I a bad person? Why is this happening to me? But what's really happening is the universe or God, source, whatever, is showing you what you've called in all of it so that you can understand it, have a relationship with it, select your preferences, and then focus on those.
Right. The mirror is the word that she said that was important. It's early.
Isn't she beautiful?
I'm wearing my pajamas for the New Year's Year of the Horse. Yeah. And so the mirror is really, really important because, you know, a mirror is, what's the word for it? It doesn't judge you, it just reflects back. Yeah. It's just non-judgmental, it's just what is. So if you take your charge, as they say, off of what's happening in life and the guilt, blame, you should, it's your fault, all that stuff, if you take it off, it's just a mirror. It's just reflecting what is. You can't blame it. You can break the mirror, whatever. But
no, you can't break the mirror.
People have broken that mirror. But the idea is to just look at your life around you, knowing you've got the power to change it. We're always talking about empowering you. This is why Good Morning Goddess is on the air, because we love being empowered, and we thought maybe you would like it too.
So the show's all about empowerment.
Yes.
And know that when stuff comes up, it's because you've called for change. And the universe, God, source, is showing you what you need to get out of the way, perhaps, in order to get where you want to go.
Exactly.
So all these things are opportunities, they're challenges, they're gifts, and they will take you where you need to go.
Yep, yep. That's our show, folks. Thanks for stopping by.
No. Oh. So what we're going to do today is a lot. In fact, we did this at camp recently. It was so powerful.
So
my
good.
daughter just went crazy for this. Where are you going? Anyway, my daughter just went crazy for this. So what we did was we set up our intentions very clearly for what we want to create, and then we took a stand and claimed what it was we wanted to empower within ourselves for the coming year. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, but we happen to have a power practitioner with us today that has all the skills, tools, and things, and she's going to share them with you. So we have a special guest today.
Yes.
Reverend, the right round Reverend Genevieve Coleman, to teach us a little bit about power prayers and how to claim and take a stand and empower yourself and get that wonderful energy going to make it happen.
Right. Well, I thank you for that lovely introduction, and it's such a pleasure to be on your show today.
Well, thank you for being here. We finally have a guest. It's one of us.
That's so interesting and sad on so many levels. We are
powerful. It's our first step. See, we're noticing the gift. We're noticing how we're getting where we want to go.
And sometimes,
even if it's with us,
sometimes we are the gift.
We are the gift,
and it's important to
notice
that.
That's why we do this show, because we are the gift.
That's true.
Right? I mean,
I'm agreeing.
We're magnificent.
I'm agreeing.
We think so.
So we will have other guests this year. This is just a good way to kick it off with the highest and the best. So as a power prayer practitioner, I have my license in the state of California. I performed hundreds of weddings, you may know that, wrote the book Marry Me More, and have my licensing in practicing, which helps people to claim what they want. And I have a certain style in my practice where people will come in and they'll say what they want.
It's ebullient, by the way.
Ebullient.
Yeah.
Look that up and get back to me. The people claim what they want, and I give them like 10 minutes, because you don't get into old story. You've heard us talk about not getting into your old story.
What is an old story? A story is, this is an important point I want to really bring up, because this is the place where so many of us get stuck.
Yeah.
You know, as human beings, you know, the world is kind of a neutral place. Things just are. We are the determiners. We're the ones that create a sense of meaning out of what's happening around us.
Exactly.
And as we sculpt and write and story creates that meaning, then that's what begins the movement of energy to manifest. Right. So it's important to be mindful of the stories that you're telling.
Right.
The meaning that you're creating, and if you're creating a meaning you don't like, guess what? You'll get more of that.
Right.
So what we're here to do today is to help you to sculpt that meaning, to sculpt that intention, to make it so that it's something you actually want to put your attention and energy on.
Exactly. Well said.
Please go forward.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So people will come in and tell me their story, and then I'll say, well, what would you like instead? And it's often, I want them to change, I want them to do this for me, I want them. And
or I don't want.
Or I don't want.
That's a big one.
They keep doing this to me and I don't want it. So we talk about empowerment, responsibility, and the I am words. Not they, anything. It's your life, your story, no blame. You haven't done anything to you either. It's just what's going on, and you want it to change. You have the power to do that. How would you like it to look right now?
Okay, so wait a minute. You said some important things I want you to highlight. You said you want to find out what their story is, and then you want them to what?
Not blame others. Take responsibility.
That's the one. Let's talk about that.
Shall we?
I think that's really important. So, responsibility. You know, if we are creating our own reality, and it's from those attitudes, beliefs, intentions, perceptions of how we create that meaning for ourselves in the world, then we're in charge. We're in the driver's seat, which is really kind of cool. I mean, you know, it's kind of nice to say they, them, you.
Oh, it feels so good to blame.
Right, it
really
does. But when you do that, you're disempowered. You can't do anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know we can't change others, but we can change ourselves.
You can try.
So when we say, you know, what's my end of the equation on this little reflection that I'm experiencing here, and we take responsibility for that, then we can find and discover and create and write what we would prefer in a different, new story,
right,
and make it happen. Otherwise, you're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So responsibility means I had a part in creating this. I know what I prefer, and I'm going to take action in alignment with what I would prefer.
Right.
Instead of sitting there moaning and complaining and whining and whining. Oh, we have a new word, whining. Remember that? We talked about last week.
Yeah,
you know, some of us get stuck in the why did this happen and why am I doing
why
this?
Meaning.
Why me? Yeah.
Why meaning?
Why did this happen? You know,
why
and you know,
meaning?
if you want to go on a detective journey
Yeah.
and spend all of your time digging out the roots of whiness, you could be there for a long time because you will always discover more.
Yes.
Discover more. And there comes a point when this is kind of counterproductive.
Right. It's very interesting because we're interesting people.
Fascinating.
And we could go all the way back to our childhood, which I rarely do.
And past lives, some of us too.
We are so interested. We want to go back to past lives and figure out why this is happening to me.
We really don't need the whining. What we need is to just determine what we want instead.
Right. And you might say, well, that's easy for you because, you know, you have it good and someone's not spanking you every night before. Oh, now back to our childhood. But you do have the ability to stop yourself right now when you catch it. It's called conscious awareness. When you're consciously, you can be standing there talking to someone and pointing the finger and blaming them, and you're going to stop and go, oh, that's what they're talking about, blaming and why me and complaining. What do I want instead? I'll get back to you, but what do I want instead? And go figure it out.
Well, here's the other part. You're just opening up wonderful cans of worms.
This is good
here.
stuff.
So as we're going, you, what's going on? I'm putting out negative energy, judgment, and blame. And what happens to the other person? They want to defend, they want to resist, they contract, and you're not creating the optimal environment for having any kind of a discussion or negotiation.
Right. They're not hearing.
So, of course, we've learned through nonviolent communication, or what we call, empowered communication.
Empowered.
Is that when we take that self-responsibility and say, I'm having a problem with this, I don't like this, this pushes my buttons, what can we do to create something that works better?
Right.
Now you've enrolled the other person, and they are probably going to be a heck of a lot more interested in engaging with you in this discovery and negotiation process.
Exactly, exactly.
We've been dealing with some of that lately, haven't we?
Yeah, so many. Now listen, we
As
have
we're up-leveling our lives this year.
Up-leveling. This is our third season. In case, is this our fourth season? This is our fourth season.
No, it's not. It's our third season.
Oh, darn it! I was so close. Okay, so my point was, we have a show on emotional communication, on empowered communication, on nonviolent communication, all basically called the same thing, on withholds, okay? Different names for the same idea.
Let's not start that whole new topic.
No, but she just told you, so go watch that show. That's what I want to say. Go look that show up. It's very good.
Anyway,
all right, so here
we've
we
covered
are.
responsibility.
Why, thank you so much.
Yes, you have. What's the
Okay,
next?
so I'm on step 2 of my counseling practice, which is tell your story, tell your new story, what you would like instead.
Yes.
Then we talk about how you are empowered to do that.
Okay, step back.
Okay.
Okay, because you're just hitting so many brilliant things, and we just don't want to gloss over any
I
of
thought
it.
I'd go through the process first, and then you'd pick.
Well,
okay, go
I
ahead.
think, we need to illustrate this a little bit.
Okay,
so
illustrate
this
it.
new story thing is really, really important.
New
Because
story.
when you're telling your new story, it's got to be stated in the positive instead of, I don't want this, I don't want that. It's got to be said, this is my new reality.
Yes.
I am. That word I am is really powerful because it is defining you every time you say it. So be careful what you say when you say I am.
Right.
If you're saying I'm tired, I'm lonely, I'm this, you're creating it. So I was, maybe, if you need to go there at all, but stay with I ams in the positive, in the present tense, right? So that you make sure that it's now, and it's not I want this thing in the future. She gets on me for this all the time. I will. No,
I hope.
I am.
I am.
And this is, what it is.
Right.
Right? Did I miss anything else?
No, I like the idea that she just said, that you just said, that it is that the I am, and I am creating this. But please don't kick yourself or get back into that blame of, I didn't create this, it's their fault. It's a very fine line. And what I'm agreeing with,
co-creation.
Well, what I'm agreeing with is that the fact is, it is the way it is now.
Yeah.
Now drop the blame and say, okay, now the way I want it to be now is this.
So there's another term
wait a minute, it's important. In other words, she said, if you keep doing that, you're creating. Drop the blame on the creating. It simply is here now. And if you keep saying it, you're going to keep it in your life. That energy is keeping it right in front of you. Well, how can I ignore it? It's here. You can think about what you want instead, which, let me say, is ignoring it, because your energy and your focus is where your power is.
Okay, so here's an important piece.
Yes.
And that you, again, touched on that is just so brilliant.
That's great.
And that is accepting what is. There's a wonderful book by Byron Katie called Loving What Is.
Yes.
And what it basically says is that you are where you are, and it is what it is. So given that, now what?
Right.
So instead of going, oh, I'm here, oh, I hate this, why do I keep doing this, how am I here, what's going on,
Right.
Why, let's just say, okay, I'm here, I recognize what's going on, this is my reality, I accept this, and now there may be a thing or two I want to change about it.
Right. I don't like it, but
then I focus on that. So
Right.
that acceptance of what
Right.
is really important. And the more you focus on your appreciation of that fact, puts you in the driver's seat, puts you in a power place from which we can do a power prayer.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your focus is all that matters. Your focus. Okay? Any brilliant on that
Focus
step?
is important too.
Yeah.
One more thing, focus. You know, because the more you focus on something, the more you create it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So the more and better you get at that focusing and disciplining yourself to stay in alignment with those thoughts that are what you want to create, and eschewing, getting rid of, stepping aside from any that are other than that.
Yes.
Keeps that focus right where you want it.
Right. Right. And it doesn't mean that as you're doing this, that the important things that are going on in your life are going to be ignored, or that you are supposed to say, you guys handle it now. I am now going to create my life anew and change. And yeah, it's all about the fact that you get to have what you want.
Yes.
And that's a claiming issue, which is very powerful. And your family and friends around you might be a little freaked that you're becoming so strong and powerful in this new creation aspect of life. But stay with it. And as you have to deal with what is, go back to your empowerment. Deal with it empowered. And go back to, and that's called balance. And the more you stay, and the more you feel your power, the better you get at it.
Right. And here's another piece that's really important that I've noticed. If you're wishy-washy at all, the reflection back is not going to be all that you would desire. It's going to be a little chaotic. It's going to be, people are going to be confused because that wishy-washy energy is not strong enough.
Right.
So if the reflections you get back are pushing against you, maybe you're pushing them. If the reflections you get back are resistant, then what that is an indication of is that you need to be clearer, stronger, more direct in taking that stand.
Right, and that doesn't mean mean and grouchy and pushy, aggressive. It means, there's a power in the word no. And I'm going to say this to you,
yes to you
with love. Thank you. Saying no to you may make you feel a certain way, and I hope it's not too uncomfortable. But
didn't you just get through this?
That is saying yes to me.
Yes,
and I like that idea.
Yes,
I like that idea. So the next step is in stating the way that you're choosing to have it now. Okay, is then the power prayer, which is what Shama mentioned earlier. That the words are the most powerful thing that a person can use. Use your words isn't just something for kindergartners anymore. It is for the human race to understand that in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was good. And so I believe in power prayers being spoken with energy, and that's why they say affirmation. If you keep it in your head, it's kind of like really nice thoughts. But speaking the words
creates a vibration in your body that resonates through every cell.
That too.
That too.
Yes.
Important.
And it means your brain must form those words. So the thought does come first, and then it comes out, and it helps you be very specific. You don't usually speak 2 words at once. You can't really think 2 thoughts at once. So when you focus, you're keeping your mind focused on 1 word at a time as you're thinking of what you want. Then your mouth opens, and the words need to form a coherent sentence so that you are connected. And then you're focused on, wow, that was really well said. People say that a lot. That was really well. Where did that come from? Because your mind will help you with these words. And then your heart hears them. And you go, that was really good. I want that. And then it's a cycle of empowerment and energy and creation.
And so one fun thing to do as you're doing all these wonderful words, and you've written very clear, positive, present tense, affirming statements of what it is you want to create instead, making sure that it doesn't have any energy of what you don't want in it,
right?
Making sure it's really clean, clear, and direct. Then imagine yourself that you're pulling this energy from the creative force of the earth and from the highest place, from the as above, all the way to source, and bring that into your body so that when you stand and claim this and speak this aloud, you are, as if you're speaking to a crowd, in your power.
Yes.
And then send it out your heart, because that's that place of the full integration between the as above and the so below.
Right,
and
right.
all of you. And that's what we're meant to do. That's what we're meant to be. And that's how we're meant to create.
True.
Powerful stuff.
And I want to say, first of all, before we go into doing an example for you guys, this is a spiritual practice for me. It is practiced by other people. They call it other things. If you are in a specific religion, please take note that the person in front of you on the bima, in church, in the pulpit, the person who is leading your congregation, your you're centered in prayer, has practiced this, is trained in this, and the next time you see them, I'll bet you'll notice how they stand with authority given to them by God, Goddess, the higher self, and they speak out in this manner of declaring what is true for you. And they're going to phrase it in the words that are meaningful to the congregation. But you will notice that they are speaking with authority, and that's what we want for you.
That's
Nobody
part of that
knows,
claiming thing.
Yes. Nobody knows what you need in your life more than what you desire. And desire is one of the healthiest human emotions and feelings that there can be, because that's how humans create more.
So what does claiming feel like? Let's just take a moment to focus on that. Let's say you're at a dinner table and there's a role there that you want.
Mine.
And there's other people that are kind of looking at it. But you've decided it's the role that you want. So what do? You sit up, you lean forward with authority, you come and you take it.
Why is this associated with food with you?
Because I just got off a fast,
She's
okay?
hungry.
I'm very hungry. So, but what's that attitude and approach? Feel what that feels like. Go to other moments in your experience that felt like you were claiming something for yourself. That's the energy, that's the attitude and approach you need to take.
When you stole that car and that, what? Wait a minute. That's for me. Wait a minute. No, that dress.
Did you do that?
When you were at that sale and you were struggling over that brassiere with that lady. That's for me. And you have to know there's always enough for everyone. There's another one over there.
There's plenty.
There's plenty for all. Okay, so when you're asking for something, it's not going to be taking away anything from anyone else's.
Yeah. We think that there's a limit to things, and there really isn't, because what we vision, we create. Therefore, I mean, if you've ever had an experience where you had a thought that made you sick or that made you happy, or you listened to a song that took you to another place and time where you felt yummy or something, milk those, take those with you and use those, because those are ways to get yourself in the mindset of what it is that you want. So as you're claiming what it is that you want, bring in that emotion of how you know you're going to feel, because that feeling place is a very important part of creation.
Yeah, okay,
and,
I know that.
And kind of hang out there and bask in that feeling. I was watching TV last night and they had an ad for Princess Cruises, and as I'm watching the ad...
See, now that you're right. Now I get it. That makes me feel right away fabulous.
Yes, exactly. So I was remembering a time when I felt deeply relaxed, deeply satisfied, and that I was really enjoying myself. And as I noticed that feeling, the ad came on a few times. Every time that ad came on, I milked it. I hung out there as long as I could.
That's for me.
I want more of that feeling in my life.
Yes.
And so whatever sort of emotion is, you know, stimulated by the thing that you want to create, milk it.
Pay attention to it too.
And enjoy it.
If you watch several commercials and one makes you feel like, oh, another ad for that pill. You know, you don't want to say, I want Prozac, I really want Prozac. You want to say, I want the cruise, I want the one with the baby, I want the new car, I want the butterflies hiking through Yosemite. I want that in my life. So pay attention to what makes you feel good. Not longing like, I'll never get that. But yes, there is a way. One of the most powerful phrases you can ever learn, when you're asking for what you're choosing in your life, there is a way, means I don't know how, and you don't. You probably don't know how the universe is going to bring it to you, because everybody seems to be surprised, like, I asked for this thing and you wouldn't believe how I got it.
Yeah.
So there is a way. It opens yourself up to how the universe wants to bring it to you for your highest good.
And a piece of that. Yeah. Really good. Feel free to ask the question. Instead of saying, I don't know how it's going to come, because I used to do that a lot. Then I'm just creating, I don't know how it's going to come. Instead, the question is, I wonder how to create this.
Right.
I'm looking for guidance. I'm asking for inspiration. How can I create this? Right. How can this happen in my life?
I'm open to what I'm asking for. I'm open to this and better. This or something more. This or better. This
exactly. Because you can't be too attached to how you think it's going to come.
Exactly.
Because then it gets in the way.
Oh, God, we've gotten so much good ideas.
So much good ideas.
Yeah, I hope it's not too much, but you can always watch this again.
And again. And again.
And tell your friends.
Hit sound coming.
That's great. Okay, this is Good Morning Goddess on YouTube, and then we have Goddess Camp on the web. Go to the website and see the beautiful things we have to share with you and the songs. And then we have,
That's
YouTube, we have a Facebook, Goddess Camp International. Visit that page where Wendy's doing beautiful postings of things that inspire you. Someone was feeling so bad the other day, I have to say. And I said, okay, I want you to stop thinking about the relationship problem. And I want you to distract yourself, just like we were talking, and go to Goddess Camp International Facebook page. And I want you to look at those phrases. Some of them are funny. We're talking puppies and kitties. We're talking beautiful butterfly paintings of fairies. And look at the sayings that empower you. And she did that for an hour. And she goes, oh my God, I thought they were talking to me. All these phrases about empowerment and love is what you're made of. And she said, I thought it was just for me. I said, there's no accident in life. So you can do that too to help you empower.
Support, and Good Morning Goddess shows are all through here, and there's so much that we've had to offer and so much that we've given. So please use us.
Yes, thank you. So now I'm going to open with the power prayer as an example. I'm doing one, Shama's doing one. If we have any more time, we'll say goodbye. But okay, so you get yourself in a comfortable position. Show them how. Okay.
Legs uncrossed.
Yes.
So that you're allowing the energy, and feet flat on the earth, so that you can draw that energy from the center of the earth, which is the potential for all creation, because the earth just manifests like wonderful crazy. Bring that up through your body, all the way up through your crown. And then go to that great central point of source of all creation that is in the heavens, somewhere out there, all the way, and bring that down through you also, all the way down through your body, connecting with your heart as well as a focal point, and then all the way down to the center of the earth, so that you are a perfect conduit between the physical and the spiritual, fully embodied, here to create from the sacred heart space of compassion.
And so we begin. And I speak my word quietly, confidently, and clearly for that which I am now choosing to create in my life today. And the first step of power prayers is to know that I am connected to this loving source, the Father, Mother, God, the infinite energy, my Lord, my angels, my supreme queen goddess, the mother of all. I am connected to the one love in this universe, whatever the name is. And I choose to know that my birthright is this connection. Therefore, I am always at liberty to open the door, to turn on the tap, to connect myself into this energy and use it for my highest good and the highest good of all concerned. I speak my word because the word is the most powerful. I speak out into the universe that I may be heard, first by myself, because my angels and guides always know what is in my heart. But as I speak my words, the focus helps me to know exactly what I'm asking for today. And this moment is what matters. And so connected with this energy as I am now with my breath and my word and the energy that flows through me, I feel the tingling of life because I am alive. And the creation process is exciting. And I enjoy doing this on a daily basis and whenever else I need to feel that I am able to create. So I speak my word in specific now for myself in the I am present tense. I am loving and responsible. I am lovable and I am loved by others. I am so willing to step into my new life and my new world right now that this excitement carries on my breath, and my words that I speak are now connecting me. And I speak my word for prosperity in my life. And I know that more and more weddings, speaking engagements, comedy concerts, convention engagements that I am on stage speaking and singing and empowering women around the world continue to flow into my life. For that gives me pleasure. That thrills me as I know I'm giving my highest gifts of singing and speaking to the world. And I am loved and appreciated and well paid for it. My focus on this assures that the universe hears me and brings this to me. And that is my specific request today, to experience more love, prosperity, creative self-expression, and happiness in this realm. My next step is to give thanks, because there is a way for more and more of this to come into my world, into my life as I welcome it. And I must give thanks for this path, the power and the energy of the universe that is making it so right now. So I am grateful and thankful, and with a loving, appreciative heart, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I release these words knowing that they are now in the hands of the universe, in the hands of God, in the hands of the angels that love me, to magnetize my word into creation. It is done, it is released, and I say, and so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, that felt really good. That was amazing. The energy in this room feels like it's lifted considerably. And notice she's kind of still there, still hanging out in the pleasure of what she's created, hanging out in a rehearsal of what she's created, so that she can attune her vibration with the creation that she has just claimed. And that's a very important piece, because as we call in what we want, we have to attune and align with it in order to receive it. So now her work is to bask in this reality, to continue to notice what it feels like to have this in her reality, and then to make choices and decisions based on what her life is like now that it is in her reality, to whatever extent she's able to do so in this moment.
It feels so good. I want this for everyone. And when you feel so good, if you did this first thing in the morning, your workday would fly. The people around you want to know what you're taking. I'm taking energy pills. I'm taking Source. I'm plugged in, connected. And it just improves your attitude.
Yeah, what you can do every morning is that you're setting your intention for the day. You're acclimating yourself before you sit in. What do all the gurus do?
Right.
They consciously create their day and create their reality.
Right. Now, would you like to do one, or is there a show out?
I'll do a quickie.
I want you to.
Because it's nice to see different styles.
Exactly.
And we
exactly.
can try the
Thank you. I'm glad.
So,
okay.
I'm ready. I'm excited. Why, sacred ones, this is Diamond Dolphin calling to you as Yahe Manu, daughter of the waters. And I call to all my guides and teachers from all space, time, and dimensional realities. I call for all of you who are my friends and who want to support my journey as I support yours. And I feel the love and I feel the synergy. And I'm so grateful to have you by my side, guiding me, loving me, supporting me, because I know I have all the support I need to manifest whatever it is that Source inspires through me. And I'm open to receiving the energy of Source fully, with love and compassion to flow through me as a determiner for God's intentions. And I know that as long as I'm aligned with love and compassion, that everything I say and do is perfect. A perfect support for myself, a perfect support for those I love, and a perfect support for my intentions. And so I align with Source now with my intentions. I align with love, I align with compassion. And now I call in for this wonderful state of the West in California, where we are wanting more water. And so I now see clouds forming. I now see the plants and the animals along with all of the people here calling, and seeing the reality of the clouds forming with moisture and life-giving rain. And I'm so excited to stand outside and open my eyes and my mouth and my arms and to feel that rain begin to fall upon my face and my body, refreshing the earth, refreshing me, blessing me. And I enjoy being in the flow of that moisture. And it's the perfect amount of moisture that the earth can absorb and receive. And it lends to us some wonderful snow on the mountaintops so that we have plenty for the year in our reservoirs and melting from the snow caps. And it feels so good to know that we have the power to focus our attention and attract that which we need to serve our planet, to serve the flora and the fauna and ourselves, and to refresh and nourish all of the life here on the planet. And it feels so good to feel that rain falling. And the longer that I can stay in this place of openness and receptivity to the rain, the more I know it is done. The more I know that it is real. The more I know that we can claim this moisture and enjoy it and bask in it. And I allow myself to be drenched with this beautiful, beautiful rain. And I give thanks. It feels so good. So fulfilling, so amazing, so nurturing. And I love splashing in puddles in the rain. And I love playing with my umbrella. And I love seeing my car washed and the driveway washed without the hose. And I love seeing my plants come alive and the trees alight and alert so that the blossoms can come at the perfect time this spring. So that the bees can come and help the flowers, and everything grows and thrives because we are more conscious about our environment, and we're more conscious about loving it and being compassionate with it and ensuring that life goes on in a supported way by all concerned. And I give thanks. And I'm so grateful that the universe hears my prayer and that my guides and teachers want to help to support this vision for all the moisture that we need to fulfill everything we could want. And I now bless this creation, and I know it is so. And I feel my gratitude as I walk through my day, looking for those signs of moisture that help to remind me that it's coming, and that I'm a creator being that can help to call this in. And anyone else that wants to join me here, let's play. And I give thanks, and so it is.
And so it is. And so we will leave you with that feeling of empowerment, knowledge. Please go forth and do it yourself.
So it helps to write it down to make sure that you've expressed it in the positive, in the present tense, and in an empowered way. Write it down and read it. Read it morning and night for a week just to see what happens. Make a little experiment of this. And you'll be surprised. I'm feeling surprised.
I'm delighted. Honey, I just said that's good enough, and good morning, Goddess. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
Next time. Au revoir. Ooh.